What's up, guys? KJ here with your daily crypto quickie. Today we will be asking the question, has Bitcoin bottomed? You know what? I've thought about it, I've looked at it, I've been observing, I've kept my mouth shut, but now it is time for me to come out and say it. I believe it has. And we're going to talk about why. Also, after that, I'm going to get into the hot altcoins. We're talking about playing the hot hand here. We talked about some of them on the last episode, but I'm going to go through a few that I think are definitely worth paying attention, how to play them, and yeah, that'll be it. We'll give you your fix for your weekend so you know what to do. Before I want to go further, I'm going to let you know this is not financial advice, and I also want to give a very special thanks to my sponsors at Dudex, leverage trading for Bitcoin, and a fair and due exchange. It's not a decentralized exchange, but anyway, if you want to sign up for that, Korean Jew is my link. So dudex.com/Korean Jew. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it. BTC, we got it up right here. I'm looking at the 3 hour. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Not as much noise. I want to be very, very focused on what we're seeing. If you've been following and keeping up with us this week, this long-term trend line is still acting as resistance. Even earlier today, we saw it an impulse move. On other exchanges, it actually came up and touched it exactly, but on Coinbase, it didn't quite get there. Still appears like resistance. On the bottom down here, I've drawn a trend line that hasn't necessarily proved itself yet, only a couple touches. So we start from the bottom, go to the wick here. This, you could kind of kind of call that a touch, but you know, going forward, I would be looking very carefully to see if this continues to act as a support. If this breaks down, then the lowest level that you kind of want to see is around 69.80. Below 69.80, I might just, take my losses and say, you know what, maybe I was wrong. So 69.80 is a key level. I think that if you can manage to get along in there, the RR is going to be fantastic. You just need to keep a somewhat tight stop there. But we talked about that earlier. Anyway, why do I think it is bottomed? So let's look. We'll zoom out to the daily. You look here, massive downtrend. We're actually in a downtrend since the summer, but things started to go very south after this pump. This is basically a bunch of people that are keep knife catching. They think that they're going to catch that $3,000 pump. Everybody missed this, so the whole way down, everybody has dreams of catching this again. And until those dreams have been fully destroyed, the dump doesn't end. And when we see that we made it all the way back to 6,400 bloody moon level, very significant for the simple fact that this was the wick. On the initial run up when we got over 8K and excitement was crazy, within a matter of minutes we dumped to 6,400, and that's where it stopped. And then a huge buyback. We were back over 7,500 within an hour or two, and then the bull run continued. So this level I think is significant. Also on the way down, obviously this is kind of the area where Bitcoin stalled and made its lowest high, and then fell off a cliff. So we got down here and people were still talking about 4,000, 5,000. A lot of the same people that were buying the whole way down have now flipped short. That's kind of what you want to see from a sentiment perspective, that indicates that we're at a bottom. Also, at the same time, if you look at this price action here, very different than what we see on the way down. Starting to make some highs here, you're making higher lows. And then the other key thing is if you flip this and we invert the scale, look at what we're seeing here. So if let's pretend this is looking quite bullish, right? Yes, but you have this top. You make a high here with a nice wick. This is big volume. You break through it, and then you make a lower high. So this is from a technical perspective called a 2B reversal. You want to see the price remain below this wick though. So as long as we don't go below 68.50, the 2B is still in play. So that's kind of what I'm seeing that would lead me to believe a combination of technical analysis as well as sentiment reading that makes me feel that the bottom is in fact in. Now what we want, let's keep in mind, this is not confirmed. This is me being a little bit aggressive with my approach. What we really would like to see, that would make me extremely confident in the price of BTC going up, is for this trend line to be broken and then for you to see price action continue to evolve above it. We want to see some price action and acceptance above that trend line. So that's what we're looking out for into the weekend. If we can get above this and stay above it, doesn't need to go crazy, but stay above it for a day or two, then you may see a very large candle coming in the right direction. So definitely keep an eye out on that. Bitcoin dominance, here we are. We've been ranging around here. If Bitcoin goes absolutely ballistic, obviously this number is going to go up. That being said, I think there is definitely room to continue to play alts. When Bitcoin pumped the last two times, there's still been plenty of alts doing well. Engine, ENJ, one of them. Now, if we look back to the beginning of the year, there were a handful of alts that did really, really well. Engine being one of them. It did a 10x in like a week. Crazy. This had something to do with the Samsung wallet announcement. So I'm starting to like think back which alts did really well at the beginning of the year, and you're starting to see a trend here. So Engine, looking at Engine, it's above this resistance, this line right here around 1250-ish. We've had this kind of led to the dump here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, many touches on this line. I think it's significant. We're now above it. If we zoom in a little closer, you see this is just a straight line up. We're having a little pullback. As far as a trade idea, you can enter around 12.5. Stop loss is at, where is it? Like 1180. You don't really want to see it much below there, but your target is around 1950. So this gives you a risk to reward ratio of 8.5 to 1. So, you know, you don't need to win a lot of these trades. And you manage what your risk is, but I think this target is reasonable. Significant level here, which signaled the big dump, and was also played around with here. So the next, if this continues and you want it to continue, this is the next spot it's going. About 19.5, 2,000 sats, nice round number. That's going to be some resistance. This would be a great place to take profit. If it gets through 2,000 sats, forget about it. It's got a lot of room. So nice trade idea there. Engine was another one. Matic, obviously we talked about it yesterday. I said there's no reason to fade this move. I hope you didn't fade it, but pull up Matic. Just keeps going up, not really showing any signs of stopping. It certainly looks like we're going to make a run at this high. Yesterday I said we could top out between 550 and 600. It's possible, but you know, just keep moving those stops up. Ride this wave. A lot of people telling people since 300, 400 sats to get out of it. I think it's got a good shot here. So you know, you don't want to get hammered. Don't need to FOMO in here, but if it gets above the 575 area, there's going to be more room. So keep an eye on that. Also, Matic, look, lo and behold, May, big performer, did a 10x. Matic's another coin that's performing well. So I keep thinking, what's the hot hand? What other coins did well in the beginning of the year, kind of around the same time period? Raven, another one. My friend Stillman Crypto talked about this on stream. He's had a very good handle. This one has been a laggard. Like, it's performed very well in the last few days, but it hasn't completely broken out of this box range. If you look where it is now, we're still over 400 sats. This went all the way to 2,000 sats nearly. So there's plenty of room for this to continue. You want to see it over like, well, if it gets to like over 500 sats, it's just going to keep going. So you know that'll be the next area of trouble for Raven is around 500 sats. So this looks good. This looks like a hot hand. Big volume pouring in, not a lot of sell volume. This doesn't look like a top. I would take a shot on Raven as well. Phantom, I've talked about this one. Looking at Phantom, 160 was the area I wanted to see it kind of gain acceptance. It has. You have this nice wick down to 150, kick some people out. We call that an ejection. And now we're just waiting. We're just waiting. You know, it's only a matter of time. Gets above 185, see ya. We're going to break 200 and then keep going. 200 is a key level. We want to see it over 200. And the last one, what the hell? Engine, Matic, Raven. KNC. Another one of those. KNC was another one of the Samsung coins that did really well. So let's look back. March, we went from about 36. Yeah, did a 3x. Did a 3x in about a week in BTC value. Right now, Same story, same old story. You want to see it get acceptance above 36. 36 was the price point which started the run, right here. So if you zoom in a little bit, where are we? Well, 36 was the bottom, kind of. Not really, but 4,000 sats. Want to see it over 4,000 sats. Starting to see the volume ramp up. KNC, I think, follows suit. So that's kind of, those are the 5 alts that seem really hot. Obviously, Tezos and EOS. Check out the last video to get my take on that. RSR as well, I think, is getting ready. You know, that's it. Try to keep these things short. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, like, hook me up with some comments. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Crypto Quickie, where we just give you the hot tip. Have a good one.